This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
Are you confident? Do you feel confident you'll be back for a fourth installment?
I don't want to say for sure, but it always comes down to what's happening in the moment. And, the guys call me, Toby Asher and Jeff Fowler call me up and say, we have this idea, what do you think, and where we could take Robotnik. So it really comes down to that. And, I'm not against it for sure. I'm having a fantastic time, and I love the fans. I love the whole lore around the piece and the game and everything. So it's a really strong circle to be in.
What is up, everybody? Paramount wants Jim Carrey in Sonic Movie 4, and Jim Carrey seems interested in returning for the fourth film. This is confirmed by the Beyond the Reporter. Here's the interview right here as you're seeing. Yeah, speaking of whether or not Jim Carrey returns for Sonic Movie 4, despite the ending of Ivo Robotnik in Sonic Movie 3, once again, I'm still surprised that he isn't against returning again. Just to be clear, you can't confirm or deny if he will be back in Sonic Movie 4, but never say never. Sound off below. Yeah, because remember after Sonic Movie 2, obviously Jim Carrey contemplated that he was going to retire, but the one thing people don't understand is that that was posted during April Fool's Day. In fact, here's the evidence right here. So people were contemplating was if Jim was going to return for Sonic Movie 3, because he was desperately needed for Sonic Movie 3, I'm not going to lie. And thankfully, he did return for Sonic Movie 3 once we got the announcement and everything, so that's fantastic. Now, would Jim Carrey return for Sonic Movie 4? He should, in my honest opinion. His performance was amazing in Sonic Movie 3. I just think that Jim Carrey, in my honest opinion, should just be, working for the Sonic Cinematic Universe in general. I mean, you got to realize from Sonic 1, 2, and now 3, Jim gave you some of the best performances of his life. I understand he wants to do other projects too, as you're seeing right here, which is great. I like that. I like the fact that we're getting the old Jim Carrey back from the 90s. But for Jim Carrey, again, Dr. Eggman, who's to say he really did die? Remember, in the Sonic series, Eggman has faked his death before. He's done it before in Sonic Lost World, and in Sonic Forces, again, who's to say that Eggman really died? I mean, after that triple boost attack, how did you know that Eggman didn't escape that pod just before the ship exploded? And then all of a sudden, he's in Starfall Islands with no explanation? And speaking of Dr. Eggman, even Takashi Iizuka even mentioned this in Sonic X Shadow Generations. How did Eggman escape the White Void? I'll even play this clip right here. He basically said he left it up to the community to make up their own theory, because he has no good answer, that's why. Because there is no answer how Eggman escaped the Void. So he just magically appeared in Sonic Lost World in the opening with no explanation. Yeah, so for Dr. Eggman, he could return because, again, not only do you have better riders, obviously, but it would make sense. Remember, if Shadow survived, who's to say Dr. Eggman didn't survive too? Maybe he was able to use an escape pod before the arc exploded, or maybe Shadow was able to use Chaos Control to guide them both out of safety. There's a possibility you can do that because in Sonic Heroes' story, the one thing people don't understand is that Shadow was wandering in space alone and Eggman retrieved him, and then of course he brought him into his facility, which later led to the chain of events of Sonic Heroes when Rouge infiltrated that capsule chamber right there. So who's to say that Shadow didn't do the same for Eggman? He saved his life, obviously, and maybe Eggman's in hiding. There's a possibility. Maybe Eggman released Metal Sonic, just to get back at Sonic, or maybe something else. Again, you never know. Or maybe Metal Sonic was in standby mode, and because he didn't get any orders from Dr. Eggman, Metal Sonic decided to go target Sonic like a Terminator in a way. Yeah, so that's cool right there. Everybody, let me know what y'all think about this. I know Jim's interested, and I know deep down Paramount wants him back. He's definitely going to be in Sonic Movie 4 without question. The fans want him back, and of course with Pat Casey, Tyson Hees, Josh Miller, everybody involved in the project, they're going to have Jim Carrey return without question. Because Sonic Movie 4, I mean, the way things are going right now, this and that, the hype and everything, you need Jim Carrey. That would be awesome if they could get him back. But again, peace out, everybody.